Hey guys, Miss Brittany here with you again today. I hope that everyone is safe at home and enjoying this time with our family. I'm going to introduce to you today another Smart Moves lesson. And the lesson today is how can drugs and alcohol harm me? So the first thing that we need to distinguish is what is a drug? And so a drug is any substance with the exception of water and food. That means you don't count those things. When taken into our body, it alters our body physically. So that is the way that we function, the way that we talk, the way that we walk, and our memorization skills and coordination. And it can also affect us physiologically. And so that is our mind, our brain, the way that we think about things when we are under the influence of illegal drugs and substances. And so we're going to introduce today gateway drugs. And gateway drugs commonly are known as alcohol or tobacco or marijuana products or inhalants. And these drugs are very, very harmful to our bodies. They can interfere with the goals that we have set in life, and we create the path in life that we are going to travel down. And we need to know the things that can affect us and harm us in our everyday lives. And so, what are commonly abused drugs and how might they harm my body? And so, gateway drugs, explored in the previous session, we learned that teens, when they abuse these drugs, it is harmful, and we need to be introduced into some more decision-making skills. And I had spoken about that in a positive action lesson. So if you've been following along, which I hope you have been, then you're already a little bit familiar with decisions and how that can affect our everyday lives. So we need to go over the 5 steps in the decision-making process. And so making a good decision is easier when you know how to go about it. Learning to make decisions is an important skill. And here are just some basic steps. So questions to ask yourself next time you're facing one of those important decisions. And number 1 is, what is the decision I have to make? So we need to figure out the situation and what part do I play in this? What is my role? And so what is the decision that I need to make in this moment? And number 2 is, what are my choices or options? So if you remember, we had spoken about weighing out the negative and the positive aspects of your decision. We want to throw out in practical thinking. Those are things that we are not going to be able to do. So it is an irrational thought. And so number 3, if we go on down on our worksheet, what are the facts I need to know about each choice? So we always want to seek out that trusted adult and someone who has more knowledge on the subject, on the situation, who can guide you in the correct direction when making these decisions. So we want to know and consider all of the facts. Number 4 on the worksheet is, what are the positive and negative consequences? So what is going to result as my behavior in this situation, the way that I react? So we need to think about taking a moment to step back and to respond with our words verbally instead of reacting with anger or to be physically violent. Okay, and so what are my goals? How would this choice affect my health and my personal family values? So always taking into consideration the people that are around you. And number 5 is, based on all of the information that I have, what is the best decision? So once again, we have weighed the pros and the cons. We have thought about the consequences of our actions and the outcome. What is that going to do? How is that going to affect my life? How is that going to affect my goals that I have set for myself? And so I have another fact sheet for us here today, and we're just going to go over some facts about illegal drugs and substances and those gateway drugs that we had introduced when we started our lesson today. And so facts about alcohol and cigarettes. Alcohol is harmful and illegal for children. That is the first fact. Beer, wine, and liquor all contain the same amount of alcohol. So someone might be drinking a beer and they think that it is not as harmful as maybe drinking a shot of liquor, or maybe someone thinks that, oh, I'm just having a glass of wine and this is not going to be as harmful to me. But we always need to remember that all of these items contain the same amount of alcohol. And alcohol is illegal. It is illegal for children to drink. Alcohol products are harmful. They are illegal as well. Cigarettes, snuff, and chewing tobacco all contain nicotine. And nicotine is the addictive component that retrains your brain to tell you that, yes, I want this and I have to have this substance. It creates happy feelings within us, and it makes us think that, oh, this has made me feel good and I want it again. And that is how addiction begins. And so if you've never heard of a snuff or a chewing tobacco, those are smokeless tobaccos. People will put those in their mouths and chew them, and it still has the same dangerous chemical components to it as a smoking tobacco does. Okay, and so the drug contained in the tobacco plant, that is the nicotine that we had spoken about. And tobacco products are also illegal for children to smoke. And it causes many problems for us, all of those harmful effects that we've been speaking about. And so some of the problems that these drugs can cause, these harmful effects, is that it burns you. If you smoke a cigarette, it burns your throat. It is addictive and it is expensive. And that also applies to alcohol as well. It makes you dizzy. It can make your heart hurt. So your heart has to pump extra overtime to make up for the lack of oxygen that you are not getting into your lungs, because we damage our lungs when we smoke and use illegal drugs and substances as well. And so it also makes you sleepy. Drinking alcohol, consuming alcohol, it can make us very tired and very sleepy. And so we can make decisions that are not the best because we are not in our right frame of mind. It can upset your belly, so your belly's going to hurt. It can make you gain weight as well if you consume a lot of alcohol over a period of time. Both of these are going to make your breath smell really bad. It hurts and damages your teeth and your gums. So it can start to decay the teeth in your mouth and affect your gum line. And it hurts your lungs. It causes you to cough a lot. And so those are just some of the basic facts. And if we talk about the effects of cigarette smoking on our bodies as well, it can also stain our teeth. So I don't want yellow teeth, and it can stain our fingers as well. Our nose can become stuffy, and so we can feel like we have a lot of different allergies going on. And it affects our taste buds as well. So foods that are delicious to us, they're not going to taste the same because these are effects of cigarette smoking. It's going to irritate our throats. And so our lungs will receive less oxygen. That's why the heart has to pump super overtime. And it works harder, and that is very dangerous on our bodies because the heart has to overcompensate for the damage that we are causing. It can cause several different types of cancers as well, and it makes it harder for us to breathe. We can set things on fire. We can burn our clothes as well. And so these are just some of the effects. And so in another lesson, I would like to go further in depth with you on how harmful these things can be to our bodies. So I hope that we have learned something today. I hope that you can take these things into consideration if you were all ever involved or someone offers you something like this, then you know the knowledge behind it and how dangerous that can be. And so we can always share that knowledge with other people because maybe they don't know the harmful effects. So today, I hope that you're safe and having a good time. Maybe get outside in the yard and enjoy this weather. And I hope to see you next time.